Hey guys, Mrs. Zalako here. I just wanted to read out loud the Earth Science Review Book assignment for week of May 11th to May 17th, part 1. You're going to read questions 147 through 148 in the review book and then answer some questions on page 151. So I am going to read those pages out loud to you. Storms and severe weather. A storm is a violent and severe disturbance of the atmosphere that usually creates dangerous, destructive, or unpleasant conditions on Earth's surface. Most storms are associated with high winds, heavy precipitation, fronts, and the low air pressure of cyclonic conditions. Types of storms include mid-latitude cyclones, hurricanes, thunderstorms, tornadoes, hail, and blizzards. People need to be aware that storms can cause loss of life, injuries, and loss of property. Mid-latitude or cyclonic storms. Movements of air masses along the polar fronts of the middle latitudes can result in the formation of low-pressure storm systems called mid-latitude cyclones, wave cyclones, or just cyclonic storms. So all three of those words are referring to the same thing. These storms bring much of the precipitation of the middle latitudes, including the contiguous United States. These storms form as a result of a variety of conditions associated with polar fronts and eventually result in an occluded front, the lifting of a warm air mass as it develops into a low-pressure cyclone. The rotation is the result of the Coriolis effect caused by Earth's rotation. Mid-latitude cyclones are often associated with many thunderstorms and associated hail and tornadoes. Hurricanes. Usually in late summer or early fall, low-pressure centers from tropical oceans low-pressure centers form over tropical ocean waters. These low-pressure centers gain their energy from the condensation of millions of gallons of water vapor that acquired its energy from solar evaporation of ocean water. When a tropical low-pressure center gains enough energy and a large enough pressure gradient to sustain winds of 74 miles an hour or more, it is called a hurricane. So I'm just going to note over hurricane means greater than 70 miles per hour. Or, 74 miles per hour. This is a greater than sign, by the way. 74 miles per hour sustained wind. All right. Hurricanes have different names in different parts of the world, as shown in figure 721. They're all characterized by rotating bands of precipitating clouds, a cloudless eye in the center that has the lowest air pressure, and high winds often over 150 miles an hour. When a hurricane passes over land or cold ocean water, it loses its energy source of evaporating water and slowly dissipates. Moving over land, hurricane loses energy due to friction with ground. Hurricanes are a threat to people on ships from high winds and ocean waves, but the most significant danger is when a hurricane strikes land. The biggest danger in the United States is often in areas along the southern and eastern coasts, as shown in figure 721. Hurricanes sometimes bring high winds that can blow down all but the strongest buildings and trees, and in doing so cause injury and death from falling or flying debris. Hurricanes also bring a danger to humans due to flooding. When a hurricane travels over land, the heavy rains can overwhelm streams and the ground's ability for infiltration and runoff. Flooding along coastlines can also be caused by a storm surge, which is a wall of ocean water that invades low coastal areas due to the low pressure and high winds of the hurricane. If you are near the ocean coast when a hurricane is predicted, the best tactic is usually to evacuate using the emergency plans and routes developed by the government agencies. Now I'm going to read the assigned questions on page 151. Base your answers to questions 70 through 72 on the data table below. The data table shows a classification system for hurricanes. A storm surge is a dome of water 65 to 80 kilometers wide that sweeps ashore as the coast near the point where the storm center or eye reaches land. Number 70. Which characteristic must a tropical storm have to be classified as a hurricane on the Saffir-Simpson scale? 1. Enough strength to cause catastrophic damage. 2. A storm surge of at least 2.0 m's. 3. A central air pressure over 980 mb's. Or 4. A wind speed of at least 119 kilometers per hour. Number 71. A hurricane with a central air pressure recorded at 28.70 inches has an expected storm surge of 1.3, 2.0, 3.3, or 4.0. Number 72. The difference between the wind speed of a Category 1 hurricane and the wind speed of a Category 5 hurricane is primarily caused by the differences in 1. Types of clouds, 2. Amounts of precipitation, 3. Air pressure gradients, or 4. Air temperature gradients. Number 75. Along the coast, the most dangerous aspect of hurricanes is the 1. Lightning and hail, 2. Flooding by high waves, 3. Large central eye, or 4. Suction effect of the funnel.